We're going now.
We're live.
We are live.
I've had a libation or two already.
We are live on tape in Philadelphia.
No, that's not water.
Hello again, everyone.
It's not water,
Welcome
Roman.
to another episode of Grappling with the Gilmans.
The hell are you talking about?
Sam! I'm back.
And who are you this week?
Who are we all
Hungry.
really?
And we are back.
No, think about this now.
We are
Audience.
on time. We're going to keep it moving.
Who really are?
Who really are we? As
All right.
humans?
This is not
Yeah.
an existential debate.
You're going to go use philosophical ones this week?
Yes, I know.
And we are back in the undisclosed location to talk about the week in pro wrestling. Let me, something I want to say right off the bat, and I have to go to my notes for this because I don't want to get their names wrong. Because the show, our little show,
We went viral.
has attracted quite a bit of attention over the last few days. So I want to send a big shout out to Reddit user BigWeek5182.
Shout out Big Week.
And
Big Week.
I don't know how this is pronounced,
Week.
so
I thought it
I'm
was
going to
square
spell this
circle.
out. KXNGAO on Twitter.
Why?
For reposting the clip of last week's show where primarily Max discussed the relative merits or lack thereof of the current incarnation of John Moxley.
All right. Send his ass to ROH.
And
I knew it, guys.
people really,
That would be a shirt.
it attracted
Send
a
his
lot of
ass to
attention.
ROH.
So thank you to both of you for sharing that on Reddit, on the Squared Circle Reddit,
Now
and
let's talk
on
about
Twitter.
some royalties now, because you use
And-
my image and likeness.
And
Send
if,
him to the thing where nobody watches and where wrestlers go to die.
and if anybody
That's right,
is
Sam.
seeing the show for the first time this
And
week,
Athena.
based on having seen the clip that they posted, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're going to try and keep it entertaining.
We're a party.
Now, since the world seems to love you two and your hot takes, I'm just going to open up the floor. There's been a lot of hot takes out there this week in the wrestling world following
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
I'll start
So, Sam, I know you got
yeah.
stuff to say. Sam, go ahead.
I
The
don't
floor is
know,
yours.
Like the after show for WrestleMania, Karrion Kross went on, and oh my god, that's the best promo I've ever seen of him, and that's the only promo I've ever seen of him.
But you liked it.
But I mean, was this a work or was it like?
I mean,
I'm gonna go
Or
with
was it
yes.
just him spitting?
I'm going to go with yes.
I didn't see it. So
Because
what happened?
he sold it.
What
I
happened?
mean, it looked real.
What happened? I didn't see
Karrion,
Okay,
go ahead, Sam. You explain it.
Karrion went on the after show for WrestleMania,
it. Okay.
and he was not happy about how he was placed.
And what?
Talked about how the company didn't see him as the crowd and the people
Talking to the
and
microphone.
the people wanted him to be on WrestleMania and
Yeah.
he wasn't.
yeah.
He was upset about not being on the show.
And then something about Goldberg telling him to be a good soldier. And then he didn't
You
like
know,
that.
He mentioned Hendry. He mentioned all kinds of things.
Wait, so basically he pulled an MJF?
Oh yes.
I
Or-
think that's not
A
bad-
better version of that promo.
That's
As the
not a
old
bad
or as the
comparison.
older generation calls it, pipe bomb.
A pipe.
Yeah, that was his own version of the pipe bomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, wait, and didn't you also have something else to say about Hendry?
Oh yes. I saw a video today. I saw a video a couple weeks
my
ago
God.
saying how Joe Hendry was selfish. Instead of putting over his company, he was doing things like the Royal Rumble and the WrestleMania.
I mean,
And this company, this business has no friends.
also,
There's been a lot.
Also,
no,
he's
no.
he's
There's
a employee who is doing what the higher ups are telling him to do. That also, if you're saying it's selfish, that's what a talent sharing agreement is called.
Also,
You get the NXT people, because Joe Hendry's a bigger star than most of those NXT people anyway.
Okay, I'll go with it.
And Vince McMahon would have a seizure if he saw a TNA belt and Joe Hendry on their show facing Randy Orton. He'd be
well, that's what I was going to say is that, first of all, number one, I think that I'm sure that everyone in that locker room is very happy for him
Well,
to be put over. I mean,
in the okay.
in the TNA locker room. I doubt, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like for the most part, people are probably like, that's awesome, good for you. Secondly, you had the TNA title.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's hard to not put over the company more than that, besides being like, doing a Bret Hart and being like, TNA.
Right, there's that.
You know?
Or he's on the show with the title, so people that never heard of Joe Hendry, which is basically impossible nowadays. But new people who've never heard of Joe Hendry, seeing him with the belt, that drives new eyes to TNA, watching his matches, really liking Joe Hendry.
There's some bad takes out there on this. I mean, whoever posted this, I mean, unless you are I'll say very loyal TNA fan.
I don't think those exist.
If to the extent they even exist.
I think at one point they did.
Now, oh God.
I think that was.
Yeah. Donkey's a TNA fan.
That was.
No, he was.
That was kind of.
So that makes 100% sense.
That was
now.
kind of misdirected.
That
Brought
makes
him
so
up
much
for
more
his
sense for
gig.
Donkey.
So
So much sense.
Here and here's something else. I don't
Us
think
becoming a wrestler
I don't know
going
that- I
for
think I
him.
was waiting to tell you this.
Not good.
That when Owens got injured,
Yeah.
apparently, the powers that be gave Orton like a list of names. Now, unfortunately, the list of names is not out because I'd love to know who else was on it
Yeah.
for his
1 second.
potential opponents.
1 second, please.
Where you going?
It's a spider. Who cares?
Oh, all right. I guess we'll edit this out.
What?
He just got up and walked off set in the middle of the show.
What did he kill? Oh, I see
Okay,
it. It's right there. Right there.
just leave it alone, brother.
You missed again.
Oh my God! In the middle of a show, they do this. I don't know if this is going to be in or out.
This is raw, uncut.
I'm just going to keep
content.
talking.
What?
What the?
Okay, are you done now?
Am I
In the
out
middle
of,
of the show?
am I out of frame or not?
We're good.
You're
We're
in the
back.
frame.
We're
Okay.
back, guys.
I want to look tall.
But
We're back.
so they presented Orton with a list of names for his possible opponents,
We're back.
and apparently he chose Henry.
I mean,
Right.
So
obviously.
I mean, there's something to be said for that. But yeah, that was a bad take.
Agreed.
Speaking of bad takes, do you want to right now talk about the other thing
Let's just
that
talk.
I know you want to talk about?
That's good. Not sure if you've been on social media lately.
For those
Eric
sheeps that-
Bischoff and Hulk Hogan did something
Interesting.
no one could suspect in 2025.
No.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
did
no.
a promo straight out of NWO era.
Right. They just couldn't use the
Yeah.
music because WWE owns
Yeah.
it.
Which, okay, can we just real quick? I don't want to get
Talking
too far off
about-
track, but I love that, like, okay, so there's
Yeah,
the original version of that song.
Like that.
The,
Yes.
the NWO version.
Correct.
Then when he went to TNA, there's
And they
another
slightly
alternate version.
changed it, yes.
Which I don't know if you've ever seen the Titantron for that. It's on YouTube. It is just chef's kiss. It is just perfection.
Oh, I'm sure I've
and
seen
then
it.
now
'cause I
there's
watched-
a third new version.
Yeah, I
that
watched those
they've made.
shows.
No, it's
And
gonna be called,
as bad as they
called
were.
OWO.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
instead of the
And
New
they
World
talk
Order.
about-
It's gonna become old. It's gonna be called Old World Order. Yeah,
And
it's gonna have a bunch of
basically-
washed out bums on it. Brock Lesnar.
Oy.
I think it's just gonna be Brock Lesnar.
Hogan,
Hogan.
Bischoff.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
Hogan will probably
No,
win
no, no, no,
400
go ahead.
times in
Go
a year,
ahead.
brother.
Let me go with
Sam,
this.
wait.
Wait,
Sam,
let me
go.
continue. So essentially, the whole promo was talking about how they're going to change the world of professional wrestling again,
Just like in 96.
how they're back, and Hulk Hogan had a taser stick during this whole interaction. And the last thing, which I thought, like,
I believe it's called a cattle prod, right?
What
no,
the
it's
hell?
not. It wasn't long. It was like a short
Really?
stick.
Oh, okay.
Should he still be allowed to handle like dangerous
Yeah,
items like
probably
that?
not.
And the last thing that was the really interesting, they kept talking about this third man who raised a bunch of stars and hold multiple championships. So the question has to be asked: who is this third
no,
man?
you're asking the wrong question.
And what's the and
The
why
question
are they
is-
doing
the
this?
real question is
What
when does
is
Vince?
this?
No, the real question is when does Vince come in?
No.
That's the real question, people.
No.
Because we all know it's
Could
gonna
Vince
be
be
him.
the third man?
Wait, no,
We all know it's gonna be him.
it's not.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
who could be a third
Wait,
man
hold on.
for
With those
those
washed
two?
out
Wait.
bums.
Can I talk for a second?
Could it be Nash?
All right.
Oh, and
Nash ain't going nowhere near
wait.
that.
now it's
Now, dude,
First of
that
all-
train wreck.
yeah, that's
Wait,
the point.
I was gonna say that I can't think of anything that the wrestling world needs in 2025 less than Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, but that would
In
be
an
wrong
NWO promotion.
because that's not correct because both Vinces are still out there and they are worse.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to be Vince Russo?
But
Oh, could it? Wait, Vince Russo is an interesting one.
I cannot fathom that anybody would give those two jabronis money to start a promotion.
They don't
Vince
need
is-
money.
Sure
Vince
they do.
is extremely
Sure they
wealthy.
do. And
He
because
could be the benefactor.
You know what you need. First of all, Vince doesn't need partners. I mean, he has more money than those two could ever dream.
Yeah, that's true.
Just from how he cashed out from his leaving
But who
TKO.
else would be a third man for
Listen,
those two?
it can't- What do you need to start a wrestling promotion, guys?
Money.
You need money.
I would say a TV deal, but
You need a TV deal.
Well, you
And
could also,
you need
well,
one.
you could also do
one
an
more
indie.
thing.
You'd also
One
could do
more
like an
thing.
indie
Hold
like
on,
GCW.
you do not need a TV deal. Look at Ring of Honor. Actually, no, that's
Well,
not
wait,
a good
that-
example
that's
because
not
that's
real.
GCW.
No.
that's basically
Right.
the
So I will say,
Wait,
though,
what's the other thing you need, guys?
in Hogan's event,
wrestlers.
Stars.
Brock Lesnar.
You need to-
Again. Brock
There
Lesnar. I don't know his music, but
There
Something
is
like that.
not enough available talent.
I can name some names right now that would work with those two.
Let me hear.
3. Brock
And
Lesnar work.
Brock-
Any wrestler that's down on their luck and looking for some money.
Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto
you're
Del
gonna-
Rio.
Oh, okay. So
Gunky. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Okay.
The list goes on
No
and on.
offense to Gunky,
That's
but
a-
you're proving my point.
The list-
There, between WWE
Alberto
and
Del
all of
Rio.
and all of these people they've signed to all of these developmental deals and whatever those other indie deals,
ID.
right? And a very well-funded number 2 promotion in AEW.
Hold on. No,
There, with all of these people locked up to contracts, there is not enough talent out there for anybody. Whether it's Vince,
Hold on.
Bishop, or any, to start a viable third
what else
national
could this
promotion.
be?
Hold on.
It
hold
does
on.
not exist.
Wait. Do you think with the money of
The acquisition?
with the money of Vince, Bischoff, and Hogan, do you think they could buy TNA?
No.
Turn it
Because
into
TNA is already.
No.
TNA
to
might.
OWO? You know,
Let's say this. TNA. Let's put it this way. TNA is off the table. WWE, whether we like it or not, I'm sure that the deal has not been signed, but TNA belongs
Right.
to the WWE.
Believe me. What if
TNA is
right?
WWE's.
Yeah,
Say the word I wanna
TNA
say,
has basically
you know
become
what I'm
another, sort of become a de facto developmental territory
Yes,
for them.
exactly.
And it's whatever. Let's also keep one other
I
thing
like
in
that.
mind.
Like the,
There's no look.
Rascals. I like those
Look.
guys.
We're talking about
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan,
And Eric Bischoff.
who made up stories in his own autobiography.
Wait, then what else
So
could this
who
be?
could possibly believe anything those two have to say?
what else is it going to be?
They're
Besides
just-
the promotion.
It's what
No, name some
I
things.
wouldn't be surprised if they are just, as they say, pulling everyone's chain. And this is this is nothing. There is no way that those two are starting a third
Three.
Those three.
You're
Third man.
What would Vince McMahon wanted to start his own promotion? He's Vince McMahon. What would he need those two for?
I
Yeah.
don't know, but you know they're friends.
And like Hogan brings
This is
pretty much
all
nothing
a
to the
giant
table. At
pile
this
of nothing.
Then who is? Well, what if it is something? Hypothetically.
Yeah, no. What else?
I'm not buying it.
If there's two people that are insane and stupid enough to start a rival promotion to try and go up against WWE and AEW, it's Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan.
Who's gonna work for them?
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Well,
But
I
that's
can
it.
say
That's
names.
one.
I
That's
can
all
shout out
Vince
some names.
needs.
There are not. You
Remember when Kenny Omega wrestled that fake
you
doll?
need stars.
That's what it's gonna be.
You need stars,
Remember
and
when
there
Kenny
are
Omega
no
wrestled that
stars
fake
floating
dummy
around
thing?
out there.
That's gonna be every single week.
for him.
And you're. It's
I
just
think
not-
there are.
It's just not happening.
It's gonna be. What else is it supposed to be? What are the
There-
third guy, brother?
there-
Third man. What else is that supposed
It's
to be?
nothing.
I would
It's.
throw $1 million
I
at
hate.
Joey Janela
I hate to
for
use.
those
I hate
guys.
to use. I hate to use this
Joey.
phrase. I hate to use this phrase,
No, I'm
but it's
sorry,
about.
I'm Jimmy Lloyd.
It's about those two.
Them.
It's a work, people. It's a work
Yeah.
from two workers. Whatever it is, it is. It's not. There's no way. There is.
Yeah.
There is no room for a third major promotion.
They were the best, brother.
It's ridiculous.
I
Okay.
I'll bet
Now-
you. I'll bet you money that it is something.
Now,
Those are only three people stupid enough
whatever
to start
it
a new
is,
promotion.
if it's anything, it's not that.
It's a promotion.
Now,
We all know it. Yes.
I'm gonna after last week. I'm sure the world's waiting. Any opinions, hot takes, thoughts you
Okay.
want to share right
Well,
from the
I
jump
would
this
like
week?
to say thank you to all the fans. The
Maximaniacs?
Yeah, the Maximaniacs.
They're running wild.
The
Maximania is running wild.
Maxinites. All of them.
25,000 Maximaniacs. Can be wrong, brother.
Wait, I have
Yeah.
a question. Has any other podcasts under the SEW network ever been reposted like that? No.
Let him let him talk. Go
I'd
ahead.
like to thank the person who I would like to thank the person. I forget your name. I'm very sorry, but they said that they said to me about Father. They said that somehow you need to see the champion, and yet somehow you don't need to see the title.
Well, he is.
I thank you to that
fine.
person.
You see,
Good point.
you see the belt in a briefcase. He's still the champion.
It's a briefcase, so I could base. So is the. It's a briefcase. It's a black briefcase.
It's gray. It's gray.
Yeah, it's, whatever.
It's
call it.
okay.
Okay, do you
Handcuffs
have-
to Marina Shafir.
Right. Do you have any other opinions you want to get off your chest right off the top? Because I'm sure there's other stuff that comes up.
Oh yeah. Whatever the hell this thing's called with Seth Rollins, where the trifecta terror or something like that.
The Triple Tower of Terror.
Something like that.
Okay.
I saw a post and it was the next. They saw two more members, and I always get these people mixed up. It's Ilya Dragunov and Ludwig Kaiser. Those two.
Weren't those two with Gunther?
No.
No, they
Just
Giovanni Vinci.
Just Kaiser wasn't. And
Ugh.
Giovanni Vinci, he got future endeavored. So.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
and now-
all right. I didn't remember that.
did he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Because I'm probably gonna. I'm-
Let me think of another member.
Wait.
I think it's gonna turn into the Shield. Sami Zayn keeps saying it's turning into the Bloodline. Also, they are looking for new members because I'm pretty sure they just tried to get poach Sami Zayn.
Well,
that's
that's not
not-
part of the bloodline.
Right. Didn't they just lay him out?
Yeah, because they refused their offer.
Oh, okay. I
Hell
didn't-
nah.
Because he kept comparing them to the Bloodline because you got the wise man in the back.
You do,
And then you got
yeah.
the head of the table or whatever the hell it's
Right.
called. He's called now. And then you have the person, aka Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gonna. Oh, I think also I think Tongaloa is gonna join. It's gonna be Tongaloa.
The infamous
Tongaloa.
The
The only
He's
person
gonna-
ever.
He's my
with-
tribal chief.
He's gonna join up with what I'm calling the New Dangerous Alliance.
I don't know. But they need a woman, so maybe that's
Botched.
botched.
Yeah, I
The
still like the
easiest
idea.
move in professional wrestling.
He botched a lot. The only person probably ever besides maybe like
Vince.
Vince.
Man.
Or,
Okay.
yeah. Someone
So
like that.
fail a low blow.
All right.
Yeah.
I know. It's tough.
I'm
I
not.
had a compilation of all his botches.
Yes.
There's one on YouTube.
Yes.
All right. As I said, there were a lot of hot takes coming out of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
We watched the
Some
video.
good,
It
some
was
bad. I'm gonna talk
truly
about that right. I'm
interesting
gonna talk
video.
about that right now. If anybody saw last week's show and thought that my rant was angry, that was nothing compared to Dave LaGreca on the Busted Open
That was wild.
podcast show.
Yeah, we saw that. Oh my.
I mean,
you want to talk about someone cracking out? Please.
my anger was nothing. Now, here's the thing.
And he's gone.
It became such a thing that it actually attracted or got the attention of one Dwayne Johnson,
Oh no.
who
So
posted
many
something
things.
on his Twitter. I'm going to quote him. He said something that he should, and I quote, "Stop ranting," and quoting again, "Enjoy the show." Now look. I have nothing but admiration for Dwayne as a performer.
I actually have one more thing to add to this rant.
And we all know how much that man loves wrestling. I mean, it's in his family. We all know that. And
Wait,
again,
actually, one more
he
thing.
doesn't have. Let me finish. He does not have to continue to do this, but he does. But it seems to me when you reach the point of just saying stop branding and enjoy the show, you've lost the argument. I mean, you can't. You can't defend you cannot defend that he wasn't there. You just can't. And it seems to me, would it not have been so much better for them if at some point during the build up to that show, they just played a video from Dwayne wherever he was, telling everybody he was not going to be there, and saying that something like it'll have him cut the promo, and that Cena did not need him there to win the match. Would that not have been better?
Also,
I mean, and I still, my other last point about this, I still have yet to hear anybody. I would have loved somebody to ask Dwayne, since he is on the board of TKO, and did stand to make and would have made money from this if he knew that they were going to sell those "Finally the Rock has come back to Las Vegas" t-shirts at the merch stand, knowing he was not going to be there.
Also,
I mean, that is really I'm sorry.
Also,
that's unacceptable.
He went on the Pat McAfee show saying, "Oh, I would have done it differently." Like you were in charge of probably that whole storyline.
It's like the meme where the guy's like,
right. It can't be defended.
He
it just
chose
can't.
not to be there.
Wait, also,
Right.
remember that little thing? What was it? Like when Roman Reigns and Cody were teaming together? What pay-per-view was that? Hell in a Cell?
I don't know.
Bloodsport?
Wait,
We did like the one.
Bad Blood.
Bad Blood. We did like the 1, the 2, and the 3. Like the build up to Elimination Chamber. The climax was 2 of them. 2. Out of the 3 that he pointed to, it was 2 of them.
Wait, what do you mean two?
What are you talking about?
When he came out Bloodsport, he came out, went after
Who?
Roman
Dwayne.
and Cody,
Okay.
and he went 1, 2, 3 to do him, Travis Scott, and John. And then in the climax of this whole feud, you only got 2 of the 3, which is the biggest.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
You
Remember
can't-
last
it just-
year
he
when
went-
you had Taker, you had
Right. You can't
Seth
defend
Rollins,
it.
Taker said,
and
where
he
you
you
had
had
Shield.
Mr. Yeet,
right, but that's
and
the
this
thing.
year you have the guy that made Goosebumps. I mean,
But that's the thing. That's what he said on that interview. He said, "Oh yeah, like none of this is actually like planned like ahead."
It
He
was
just went out
true.
there. But that's
Yeah,
what
that's
he
not
said.
true.
documentary
They
about
knew-
he's
this.
acting like he wasn't in charge of probably
Right.
that whole
They-
storyline. We all know he's on the
That's
board.
what I'm saying.
Right.
He goes out there, he just does whatever.
He does what
It's
he
like
wants.
when they went, remember like a year ago, right before WrestleMania, when he first came back with like the final boss thing, and they all pointed, and then they all pointed like this, but he pointed like this.
Yeah.
And then people on Twitter were like, "Oh my god, he
Oh,
put
yeah,
his
everybody
thumb
went
out."
crazy about
but it
that.
didn't actually mean anything.
It meant
he
nothing.
just did it by accident. That's like the whole thing.
Right.
It's
But-
just all chalked up to
Yeah.
like whatever.
I know,
Right,
but
but
it's
you-
crazy because
in-
the whole storyline.
I
is him.
agree.
You can't defend it.
Because
I
He
agree,
should've-
but that's
he
what they
either-
do.
exactly.
He should have been there, but if he wasn't going to be there, and they knew it, they would have been so much better off just being honest with their audience and have him cut a promo and tell people he was
Yeah.
not going to be there.
Well, that-
Instead, you get this mess. But again, Dwayne, he's on the wrong side of this one, and by saying, "Oh, just watch and enjoy it," like to me that's him
We
tapping.
can't enjoy it when
Well,
it's bad.
here's the thing. That's a problem with having part-timers as integral parts of your storyline.
Yeah,
the guy owns
that's
the
a good
company.
point.
He can do whatever he wants. If Disney calls him and they're like, "We need you in Hawaii this week," "Oh, I can't. I have WrestleMania." "Yeah, we'll pay you X amount of money." "Okay, cool. I'm out." Because I own the company, I can do whatever I want,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go get a
he's-
payday.
right.
That's why. It's the same thing with Travis Scott. Travis Scott just signed to do 3 shows in Saudi Arabia.
Of course.
If those shows
Is that a
had
shoot?
yeah, that's a shoot.
Of course he did.
If those shows had happened on WrestleMania, and he was, he's supposed to be at WrestleMania, you know what those Saudi princes would have done?
Kill them.
They would have been They would have been like, "Oh, okay, we'll just double your money."
Oh yeah.
And then, I'm out of WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with having part-timers as, integral part
Right.
of your storyline.
Yeah.
But doesn't that make you look
Cena?
so much worse?
Almost.
Wait,
But,
doesn't that make you look
he-
so much worse?
no, because in this world where everything is kayfabe, he wasn't there. Oh, we can just make up an excuse for why
Surround
he was
yourself in this whole storyline.
Yeah, and right
you're
now-
you're one of the main characters in a storyline, and you're not there for the climax because you're in Hawaii.
He wasn't just one of the main characters. Like, he started
The
all
whole
this.
storyline was about him.
Correct.
It was about
100%.
Cody's soul.
Yeah.
About Cody.
It was about the
champion.
loose thread from
Oh,
WrestleMania
my
41.
champion.
He was just he was just wrong about this one.
Cody.
Yeah.
One more sort of post WrestleMania point.
Why?
Charlotte Flair
Oh.
did an interview with People magazine
I bet this went great.
where she was
Wonderful.
saying how she wants to bring more of her true self
Oh.
Oh, no.
into
no,
what
trust me.
is seen on
No.
television.
Trust me, she does
Now
not
Go
want
back
to do
on a
that.
couple,
Yeah,
Here's-
trust me, she
here's
does
the
not
thing.
want to do that.
go
Roman-
back under the knife. Get some of that reverse.
Roman, you kind of touched on this last week. It seems to me, in a general sense, there's sort of two different sort of ways that someone can get, as they say, heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned it last week with Dirty Dom.
Say something.
As a guy that gets booed a lot, but people love to hate
He's got
him.
the greatest heat that exists.
Yeah,
right
people
Yeah.
enjoy booing him.
Yeah.
Vicky Guerrero had the same thing.
Yep.
So does Don Callis.
No,
But
they
then-
love Dom. They
but
just
then-
hate those two.
now. Well, that's the thing.
Then you get to the point where the audience is booing you because they don't want to see you anymore.
Exactly.
And I'm afraid for Charlotte, that is where that audience
Also,
is with her.
Definitely.
And I don't
Rick-
know how that gets
She
turned
has,
around.
as I call it, X-Pac heat.
Also,
Correct.
Rick,
true.
when
Go away heat, they
Yeah.
call
Also-
it. And I think, unfortunately for Charlotte, it's
got
too
it.
late. She's got it.
Yeah.
And once
She
you
was-
get it, it's hard to
okay.
cure.
Wait.
Thoughts?
she's only there because right now she's being a nepo baby, and the next
Yeah.
thing is that kind of ties into her being a nepo baby. Ric Flair went on an interview and said, I think it was either that
He said,
her
"Oh,
and
where am
Tiffany-
I?"
No, her and Tiffany was either one of the best matches of all of WrestleMania, or one of the
he's-
best matches of this WrestleMania.
He said that.
Yes, I don't remember. It was either
Rick.
of all time WrestleMania or specifically this WrestleMania.
All time is pushing it. This
With-
All
WrestleMania-
time pushing it. This WrestleMania, not even.
Was this before or after Hex saw him at the Starbucks?
I don't know, but Gunther and Jay was better than that. The triple threat was better.
Yeah, the triple threat.
Yes,
is
the
definitely-
triple,
Triple threat.
The,
definitely.
Both
the triple threat of women's was better.
Yeah, yeah.
Way better. Drew and Priest
Oh,
was
Drew
better.
and
The
Priest,
four-way
yeah.
with the for the
Yeah.
Intercontinental that where Dom won the title was better than
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's like we said last week. Was it
Oh, Phoenix and Grande, whatever his name
Well,
is.
I don't know about that one.
Americano.
Again,
It's like
Americano.
a 2-minute
And he
squash
was
match.
Yeah.
flipping. He was
It was-
flipping.
Grande,
Oh,
I mean,
Hendry
that
was
was a-
better.
Look,
I mean,
There
he
was
was
a
also
Scotch
like,
match when it's
Hendry and Randy Orton.
Oh,
yeah,
That's another, like,
that
2
was
minutes.
so
No,
much better.
it was-
And
Well, wait. Let me see the science with
Americano,
you.
he was doing some flippy dippy stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was.
He was doing some
Look,
flippy dippy.
I mean,
Well-
it's his daughter, so that's what he's gonna
Yeah.
say.
Well,
Look,
I'm gonna
as
say
far-
something. I didn't
look,
hear
as
him much
far-
Charlotte.
And he said this. As far as Rick is concerned,
It's all
I
about
know
him.
He gotta make that paper, you
No,
know?
as far as Rick's concerned, she's the greatest woman wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
That's so. That's he has
but
said
her
this
promo-
many
Yeah, I said that.
times.
Listen, I'm
But
gonna be honest.
I don't know how she gets this turned
I'll be
around,
honest with them.
if ever.
There is none. Her promos are bad. Remember that when she said, talk to Becky and talk about Ken? And then she
Yeah.
had to go talk about herself. And then also she can't make it look real because she was talking about how Ludwig Kaiser was in her DMs. That's the one time a man was accused of cheating and they didn't believe them.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like, no one believes Charlotte. After 3 divorces, who wants to go near that?
Yeah,
What I will-
you stole that line, but it's not wrong.
What I will say is, to use an analogy apparently you're familiar with, in Breaking Bad,
Yes,
right?
thank you.
You have a character like Walter White who is an evil, diabolical person once you get to the end of the show. But you want to see what he's doing. You want to see him on TV. He's great. He's a great character, and you want to see what's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
Then you have a character like his wife, who people notoriously have hated, or his sister-in-law, or no, his sister-in-law,
Yeah.
have notoriously hated, and are like, get her out of here. We don't want to see her anymore. That's Charlotte Flair, and then you got Dirty Dom.
Yeah, I don't know how that gets turned around.
There
for
is
her.
a way. Send her ass to somewhere developmental again.
No,
so
she's
she
not.
can learn how to work again.
She's
'Cause
not
she
going.
can't work.
She's not going to develop.
She can't. This is not NXT. Was
Yeah.
she for the four horsewomen?
Yes.
Charlotte. This is old,
She was.
decrepit. Can't have a basic match without making it personable.
She's old and decrepit at 39.
I saw that Tiffany Stratton match.
It's 39, 3 divorces.
What the
That's
hell?
about 1 divorce every
Well,
13 years.
Well, it's 3 divorces.
Yeah, we've
3
talked about
divorces,
this.
39.
Quick
Okay.
math.
That's 3.
Those
That's
three divorces put it
1
on.
divorce
Alright.
every 13 years.
That was
Let's-
good, quick math.
Let's. All right.
He's good at math. I'm
That was
not.
good.
I'm
I
very
had-
good at math.
All right.
Let's go
we're
to Dynamite.
Yeah, let's go to the week in AEW.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Dynamite from New Orleans. So it opened with New Orleans' own Master P,
Oh.
who
Look
in
at it.
2025 is still
Oh.
making them say "oh na 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 na."
Sure he is.
So he comes out. I have to go through this because there's a conclusion to this I want to get to. He comes out. He brings out the Ops, who say they want to celebrate their trios title win.
They do the and the non.
Yeah, Joe does "oh na 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 na."
Rick Rossmore.
The Death Riders
It's
come out.
hilarious.
The brawl starts. Joe ends up getting Moxley in the coquina clutch again, while Master P, I'll be
Gives
generous.
Joe
I'll be
the
generous.
worst
here,
I
punch
can
I've
only
ever seen.
assume he was saying, oh.
Throws what could generously be described as punches.
No,
and I'll
it's
be
Tom
generous.
Those look like the
punches.
Shane McMahon.
Then the Bucks and
He went,
Okada.
no,
The
No,
Bucks.
it was like.
He went.
I need to demonstrate this now.
He went-
Move the
he
camera
went-
back.
Oh,
We need to do a
you're
demonstration.
go- oh, okay.
Okay, so Max, come over here.
Okay, I'll come.
Move the
Oh,
camera back.
all right,
We're
you're
doing a
gonna be
demonstration.
It was-
Moving the camera.
I
We're
don't
doing a
care.
demonstration.
There's going to be a demonstration if
It's
the
a
camera
live
can get to it.
demonstration. I was clutching you.
He's like, you're the coquina. He's like,
No, it wasn't even with that much
No,
force.
it went.
Yeah, it was more like that. Like, yeah, it was not.
amazing.
So,
And then
I
we're live.
would punch.
All
I
right.
would probably punch that bomb John Moxley better than that.
then the Bucks and Okada hit the ring. Joe gets waffled with a chair. Mox was about to confront the three of them when Marina drags him away. Then Swerve's music hits. He comes out through the crowd. The Elite tries to leave up the ramp. Out comes Kenny. Chases them back to the ring.
Oh.
He and Swerve clear the ring. Now,
Hold on.
No, wait. I'm
Wait.
gonna say it.
Oh.
In real time, as we were watching this live, Booker M immediately snapped into action. Go ahead.
So, you have John. You have. Hold on, wait. You have what was it? Was it? Oh, okay. You have Swerve. You have Kenny, and you have the Ops. Isn't that 5 people?
By my count, that is 5 people.
You have Moxley,
Claudio,
Claudio,
Yuta.
Yuta, and the Young Bucks. Isn't that 5 people?
That's my-
And what match is 5-on-5 people? That would be
Well, there's
appropriate for this.
You got a couple options, but you said this right away.
I think Anarchy in the Arena
And-
would not be as good as Blood and Guts.
It's one of the now.
Blood-
Here's the
this
thing.
Blood and Guts
He
would-
said this immediately, and
This Blood and Guts would be so good.
it looks like he might be right because
This should happen.
they announced Moxley defending the title against Joe, but it is not going to be a Double or Nothing. It's going to be a Beach Break. So thank
I
you,
love Beach
thank you, Tony. We're getting that match for free on television. But it
Please offer
seems
free
like
for us.
it seems as though don't tell people our secrets. It seems as though whatever happens at
What'd he
Beach
say?
Break, it is entirely possible that you're going to get some kind of 5-on-5 match at Double or Nothing.
Wait,
So good job, Booker
question.
M.
Do you have? I think you could have. What like?
I think it's good. Personally, I think it's more likely to be Anarchy in the Arena because normally when they do Blood and Guts over the summer.
I know that, but
If-
what?
but
Wait, isn't there someone like
Well,
now?
wait. Oh, wait.
No, you have to do Blood and Guts. There's no way you do this in Anarchy in the Arena.
On second thought, I don't think they can
Why?
because they've already
Yeah, where's Osprey gonna be
No.
in this?
they've
We don't.
already sold tickets
For what?
in Phoenix or Glendale for the show, and they already have sold them based on the setup. I'm sure of only one ring. Like, if you're going to have 2 rings, that's going to affect how many tickets are around ringside.
That's a good
But-
point.
So I
check
think
Ticketmaster?
you're looking at anarchy in the arena.
No, they should do
Come-
one in the. Okay,
and then
wait,
hold
but
on.
do you save blood and guts until we can get like? Do we save blood and guts until like possibly Danielson has a surgery, or maybe Eddie comes back?
He's had some stuff
He's gonna
to
wrestle
say.
again. That's not a question.
I mean,
He is
look,
gonna wrestle
I
again. It's
would-
just when and who is he gonna
I
wrestle?
mean,
see
they've
it
got,
that way.
Because
they've got,
he is wrestling again. That's
They've
not off
got-
the table.
they've got a
He's
really.
going to turn
One
into
second.
The Rock, except he's gonna
They've-
actually going to show up.
they've
I
got
need
a
to clear
really-
house again.
What?
See another one.
There's another
Leave
spider.
it. Just leave it.
Just leave
Wait,
it. We're in
where's
the
the-
We're
middle
doing
of
a
a
show.
for
We're
goodness
gonna
It's a
clear
sake.
spider.
I want to
Who cares?
see it.
I want to kill it.
If you're looking at the schedule for the summer, I would think. I mean, they got obviously double. You got Beach Break. Then they're going to have Double or Nothing. Then in June, you're going to have Arena Mexico. That's going to be a big show, which apparently is already sold out.
Damn.
That's going to be a great show.
Damn.
And then you're going right into Arlington. But between Arlington and Forbidden Door in August, I think if they're going to do Blood and Guts, I think it may be in between something that's coming out of Arlington and before Forbidden Door
What
where
do
they
you
do
put?
it. Because normally
Would
they
you
do
put
it.
would you put Kingston if he's ready in it?
Oh, of course. But
Wait. But what do you
Well,
do? Well, I think you should.
I mean, if you can find a way to bring him back and get him in this deal
because
again.
there's no way he comes back and doesn't get involved with Moxley, which I
One
think is
would
a
think.
great way that you could put those two
Right, but
back in the tag team.
they're still-
I think that would have been perfect.
Well,
'Cause
again,
no one wants heel Eddie Kingston.
you were right on target with what you said because it looks like there's going to be
It should
some
be.
kind of thing at Double or Nothing
Well, I don't think-
coming out of that title. So
I don't think this feud is like fun violence.
Oh,
Like,
and I know it's gonna
like
end.
Double or Nothing
I
is
already have an
fun
ending
violence.
for.
Oh, you've
if
already-
there's blood and guts,
Well-
I already have an ending.
well, can't we wait till they
Like
actually book the
Anarchy
match?
and
No, because I
Anarchy
already
in
have
the
an
arena.
No, because we all know what's gonna happen. It's either Anarchy in the Arena or Blood and Guts.
Well,
I
Anarchy-
already have an ending for both
Anarchy
the
in the arena
matches.
is like fun violence. You know,
I
like
already have-
people getting drowned,
I already
set
no,
on
no,
fire
No, Sam.
Hit
with a car.
Oh,
Jinx.
I love when they got hit by a car.
But
But
there's no blood.
I'm
Getting
not done.
hanged, but yeah, like Darby Allin last year.
Darby Allin didn't get
Oh,
hanged.
yeah, he-
Hung?
Yeah, he did.
He kind of did.
When?
What
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
they did kind of
Yeah,
hang
they kinda
him.
did.
No, but Blood and
Oh,
Guts
yeah.
is like more kind of this because they just want to straight up try and murder each other.
No, but
Okay.
And
here's
they're
the
gonna
Okay.
make them bleed.
I know what's gonna happen because I think that instead of Yuta, you're gonna put Pac in it. Or Pac.
If he's healthy.
Yeah, 'cause he's gonna be healthy by then.
That's
You're gonna
fine.
put Pac in it, and
Time to fight.
you know how last year versus in the heel elite versus the resistance, whatever it's called, Pac walked out on them.
Yes.
The young bucks are gonna walk out on them like in a crucial moment. It's like pinfall. It 1, 2, young bucks come and they walk out and not break up the pin. The baby faces win, and then that leads to Death Riders versus Elite.
You could. Yeah. Well, that's a ways away, but
But
All right.
I am planning for the future.
Yeah, long-term-
I am better than
Tony
Tony Khan.
Khan's playing
I don't know, I
checkers
feel
and
like
Max
I
is
don't know,
playing
Tony's doing pretty
chess.
well right now.
I love
Okay.
checkers.
No, this is, no.
They had a match. Mark
Yes.
Briscoe actually beat Ricochet, so good win for Briscoe.
Oh yeah.
Ricochet was
Yeah.
going to attack Briscoe after the match. Kevin Knight made the save.
Oh,
Then
wow.
later in the show, you had a tag match between the Young Bucks and Kevin Knight and Speedball.
Oh no, this was good.
This was awesome.
This was real good.
And, well, wait, before I even talk about what happened in the match, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the absence of babyface tag teams. You could solve that problem with the team of Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey. They were great.
Oh,
Yeah.
They were great. The
I
Bucks
have a-
won thanks to interference from Ricochet. So I assume at Double or Nothing or Beach Break or somewhere we're going to get a Ricochet versus Kevin Knight match. Which again, I hope a match
like
Kevin
that.
I like
wins
that.
to continue to push him up the ladder. But I really liked Knight and Speedball as a
It was
tag team.
good. 'Cause
Really good.
It didn't make the baby faces look weak. It didn't. And
No,
it
they
made-
lost
it
in
did-
interference. They wrestled. It
Because
was a
the baby
tremendous
faces,
match.
they looked really good.
They were great.
Wait, is
They-
there a
the Young
babyface
Bucks
tag
look-
team right now?
The Outrunners. Oh my god.
When was the last time
I
we
got
saw
some
that?
stuff to say.
Oh, wait. You want to talk about that now?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Good news, bad news. The good news is we saw the Outrunners on Collision.
Finally.
The bad news is it was them getting their asses kicked by the newly reformed Roppongi Vice.
Well, I mean, technically that's not their fault because they got jumped from behind.
So-
A and B.
Yeah,
That lead. I swear to God, if that leads to a match that they
it's
lose,
going to, and it will.
No, I don't think it will because I think you're gonna get the curve
Yeah,
orange.
it will.
This is like the reuniting of Punky Vice. They're not.
Yeah,
gonna
they're
win.
not losing.
What about orange?
Also,
Where's he?
He's still recovering from his
I know, but I
injury.
don't think the injury A takes that long.
This
and
was
B,
a
he
huge
needs to
loss.
come back at some point.
If he had a torn pec, it's going to be a little
This
while.
was
Look at Cody.
this
He's-
was
Right,
wait,
yeah.
His whole chest is purple.
This was a huge loss for tag team wrestling this week.
Oh, can we take a moment
For
of silence for
so
the Outrunners?
many reasons. The Outrunners lost.
Well, no, they didn't lose, but they got
They
beat
got
up.
beat up.
They got beat up.
Dante and Darius lost.
They
Got beat up and then lost.
they lost to in a
what's
collision
their
on.
face? Oh, the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh wait, no. Let me. Oh wait. I'm gonna talk about. Wait.
Can we take a moment of silence for-
I'm gonna talk. All right.
Ricky Morton.
Hold on. So speaking of tag teams,
Dad,
F,
how dare you disrespect a moment of silence for Babyface tag
we're
teams?
gonna get. Well, I'm not because I think we're gonna have Speedball and Kevin Knight. Okay.
Wow,
Amen.
you got one.
Okay.
Well, you got one.
Speaking
out
of tag teams-
funniest
One.
wrestlers.
Speaking of tag teams, FTR is now managed by Stokely Hathaway.
Great.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
that was actually number one of the great choices Tony Khan made this week.
Oh, I don't have a problem.
Because
Hey,
those two totally jive together. Stokely
Stokely's
Hathaway
great.
and one of the greatest tag teams in the
Stokely's.
world.
Hey,
in
I'm
FTR.
happy Stokely's back on television.
No, nobody cares.
Yes.
Stokely Hathaway.
So
No one cares about
They-
Stokely
He does not
Hathaway
fit with
yet.
them.
they were in the ring with
At
Shivani
all.
again. They showed the Rock and Roll Express in the crowd.
That and
FTR called them into the ring. Everybody in the world knew what was going to happen,
'Cause it's
except apparently Ricky and Robert.
in the world of that.
So, of course,
it's a trap.
They get into the ring. Dax starts asking them questions and keeps cutting them off. Then they show their new T-shirt, FTR Living Legend Killers. Before, guess what? They laid out the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky and Robert are the geeks of the week.
No, they also talked about how many drugs those two.
Then
How many you
there
think?
were-
Over, under,
I knew
over,
that
under
one.
on kilos.
You couldn't help yourself.
Over
I
under
get
on
it.
kilos.
Yeah,
I'm not
Please.
gonna entertain this.
please. They did
Never do.
They did refer to it. It was the 80s. They did refer to it. Okay,
Was the
close that, please. We're doing
Yes.
a show, for God's sake.
True.
Then, speaking of, here's a babyface tag teams that are not also being pushed on the match. The Paragon, terrible name.
I
two.
actually like the name.
Really?
Number two.
I like the name the Paragon.
The Paragon, terrible name, made the save.
No, that's actually
Ba-
mistake number two Tony Khan made this week.
So they had the match on
Not
Collision.
changing it.
They had the match
number
on
three?
Collision with FTR against Strong and O'Reilly, which is actually very good.
They lost two.
And yeah, of course. Nobody's beating FTR right now.
Warner mistake number three, because I can
now-
tell you, before he got talked down to it, like it was getting talked off a bridge, that great idea of a 4-hour show. I know he fixed it because it probably took the entire roster to talk him
Right.
down.
They're not going to do it.
They're like, easy there, Tony, easy.
Right. Well, I don't know why you're concerned about this. It's not happening.
Because it's another mistake that he made. And I
It would-
love pointing out.
It was going to make.
He was
Right.
going to make-
But
before
they
they had
didn't
to
do
talk
it.
him down, he was like, easy, Tony.
They didn't
easy.
do it.
You know
It's
you love
gonna
your
be-
long shows, but we can't
right.
force the people
There
to do this.
Can you put?
Calm
Meanwhile, we're
down,
talking,
Tony,
and you
calm
didn't even
down.
explain what we're talking about.
4-hour. What was the
It
show
was
called?
it was Beach Break.
Oh, great idea.
It was originally going to be a 4-hour show. They wisely decided to just do the 2 hours of Dynamite as normal and show the 2 hours of Collision taped as they normally do. So they made the right call in the end. I mean, you're complaining about them getting something right.
I'm not complaining. I'm saying that it's
Okay.
I'm not complaining. I'm
Now,
saying great job, Tony. You
we
got
had-
talked down for being a
We had
terrible mistake.
another segment with your hero and the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh.
He's
He really
close.
is coming off as desperate here, but he keeps wanting to join their club.
I mean, like,
This week, at least he got the thumbs up from Shelton.
he's a Jew. I mean, like, they go together. You feel like
Oh,
that
my-
can get
What
it
do you
out.
say?
No, we're not going
Is that gonna
to
get
get
it
it
out?
I mean, no. I mean, he's in the Jewish American Sports Hall of Fame. It's not a secret.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Okay.
is that
I
gonna
mean,
get me
are
canceled?
you so now on our show we've had a reference to the civil rights movement from you.
Yeah.
You
What?
know, You know,
Are you racist here?
no, but not at all. Not at all.
Chill, this is the
I'm
90s.
just saying that, like, I don't.
You're
I
not
know.
50.
No,
I'm learning about
just-
that in history
I just
class
don't-
right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm learning about I'm doing a project on the Black Panther Party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So
glad
what?
you're learning this in school.
What is
yeah,
a Black
I mean, like,
Panther
we're learning
Party?
about the civil rights.
Okay,
right
I was
now.
not aware you were learning about the civil rights movement. That's great.
I'm putting my knowledge to good use.
Great. Wonderful. I did not know this.
Talk about MJF and
The Hurts.
Yeah, we worked.
I used that
didn't
analogy actually
I
in
did
social
not
studies.
think we were going to get a reference to the Black Panther Party today, everybody. You truly never know what is going to happen on
My,
this show.
my social studies teacher loved that analogy I made.
Shout out
Now,
Malik. I think
does
you
Malik
wanna know
listen?
your- Probably.
Listen, that man.
He's an interesting man.
That
So
man has not that much
most
shine.
likely,
Okay.
shout out Malik. I don't know your last
Malik,
name.
if you're listening, shout out to you. Now,
Basher.
shout out.
Shout out
so
Malik.
Shelton's now a thumbs up. MJF offered Bob a car. They go to the back. Bob takes the keys to the car. He and Shelton get in it, and as they're driving away, Bob still gives him the thumbs down. So essentially, he stole MJF's car.
So that's totally
I
illegal.
called it. He was gonna drive away. I told you he was gonna drive away, Dad. I knew it.
In the main event of the show, in the
What was
other women's semifinal of the Owen Hart tournament, Jamie Hayter beat Chris Statlander in another good match.
Yeah, my fellow.
So
yeah,
at
my
Double or
fellow
Nothing in the
ginger.
finals is going to be Mercedes against Jamie Hayter.
Let's go, my fellow ginger.
Um,
Yay.
Dynamite, I thought was actually, not as good as the previous week where you had that unbelievable Ospreay versus Takeshi match. But this was a good
I
show.
have a question.
I have one more thing. I can't believe I'm going to do this.
What?
But
Ooh.
I'm going to.
I like where this is going.
So on Collision,
What happened on the
they had a match
Oh.
between?
Tony Storm
Oh. Yeah.
and Queen Aminata.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody may
Interesting.
want to talk to the Queen.
God. Oh,
Somebody may want to talk to
Father,
the
no.
Queen because
God.
she seems to, as they say, be very stiff. Tony, what was her lip or was it a bloody nose? She got busted up a little bit somehow in the course of that match. But Aminata did a move that I've never seen before.
It was like a.
And
how do I
I'm
explain
going to
it?
let you two try and describe it because I'm just a glutton for punishment.
So it was like a.
How can I
stink
say
face. It was like not in the corner. It was like a stink face and not in the corner. It's hard to describe.
How can I say this without being?
They were on. I'll
evident?
try. They were on the apron.
Yes, and no, but like
They were
like
both They were both with
She got.
I think I got this.
stomach. They
She
were
got
both
like a
stomach
plank
first.
kind of position.
They were both stomach first on the apron.
How can I say this?
Aminata got Tony like in some sort of like head scissors on Tony. Like head scissors.
I
And
think I can explain
somehow
this without being demonetized.
She repeatedly rammed Tony's face into her hiney.
I mean, like, what's the
I
point
have
here?
never seen anything quite like this.
Like, it was like, I can demonstrate this with my
I
fingers.
think
It's gonna look at
Stephanie Vaquer did something similar on
I have not
NXT
seen
a
this.
couple weeks
No,
ago.
but it was
and
with her
Booker
legs.
T was like, "Oh yeah, sucky ducky quack quack."
oh, shocking.
well, that's like
I don't remember.
No.
Did Nigel say
No.
anything about this?
Probably.
Because Nigel was on fire on,
No,
on Saturday night.
Stephanie Vaquer's thing was her face going
Into the microphone.
her face was going into the mat, like the mat.
Yeah.
Queen
Right.
Aminata, what's the end
Somehow,
goal here?
it
What's
was-
happening
yeah.
here?
I would hope
Gotta
that-
fix that, man.
I would hope
because
that-
it was kind of like hold the microphone.
I would no.
Hold the
I
mic.
would,
I,
nope.
I need to point it for me.
I would
Oh,
hope
what?
that in her own way, Tony will make some reference to
yeah.
this during her next promo.
Oh,
'cause
she's made references to a lot of things.
I've never seen anything quite like this.
I have.
All in all, I would say it was a
job.
pretty good week of AEW television, and again they're doing a good job right now, lead because they've got a lot of big stuff planned over the even over the next month or so.
Oh, I have
'Cause
one
now you got-
critique.
Now
He's
you
also
got
going to Scotland.
Now you got Beach Break is a big show. You got Double or Nothing, and then the next thing they're going to be in front of a sold out crowd at Arena Mexico. So
Oh,
it's
I was
it's
gonna
good.
say-
It's good times for AEW right now. I
was
feel
gonna
like.
say.
Oh,
It's a party.
Wait, what was it? Oh, I didn't like that Tony Khan did all of like the big feud right now with Moxley, the Ops, the Elite, Kenny, Swerve. I didn't like how they did that
Swerve.
all in the beginning.
Swerve.
Because then like you didn't really need to watch anything else.
Yeah, nobody cares
It
about
wasn't
that.
really more like
Yeah, but then
it seemed like it was
Oh, no,
very.
but
The beginning of the show was like right when they opened was.
Yeah, but then you would have missed that great match between the Young Bucks again and Speedball and Kevin Knight.
Yeah.
That match was great.
I know, but you really could have gone without watching it and just What?
Wow.
I can guarantee you a lot of like WWE
Storyline
fans
wise?
don't really watch it. Just like turn it
Wait,
on,
right.
No.
watch the important feud, and turn it off.
Right.
No.
I mean,
So I think you should.
Storyline-wise-
It's like when the thing that happened with MJF, where like it dropped in the MJF Switchblade feud when it dropped viewers in the beginning of the show.
No,
Like,
no storyline.
They should have spread it out more.
It makes sense to put your big feud segment at the
yeah,
end.
I get that. But it
Because
was
but
spread
they're
it
doing
out.
something really smart. They put like the big stuff in the middle, and then which makes the people watch like halfway through, and then they're like, okay, I'm already halfway through. Guess I should just finish it, and then they've watched finish it.
Well, also, if
Also,
we're
it
gonna
ends
talk
on a
about this,
cliffhanger. So
last
you watch
night-
next week.
well, like last night's episode, right, of Raw, it started out with the Seth Braun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got a little.
Then Sami Zayn comes out, and they say, "Oh, Sami, blah blah blah, you better have a decision for us by the end of the night."
oh, yeah.
And then they circle back to that at the end.
All right, well,
so
that-
you're like, at the beginning, you're like, "Oh, dude, I gotta watch the end." Tonight.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense to keep you around. Okay.
Good job.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
No.
John Moxley, ROH.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Like,
Turning into a one-trick pony
sure.
over
Yeah.
here.
Well,
Yeah,
you
we can't
you,
be like Gunky
It's true.
or Jay.
now that
Yeah.
You're like, what's the Simpsons episode? Say the line, Bart. Do you ever see that?
No.
When he accidentally knocks over the set piece on Krusty's show, and he goes, "I didn't do it," and it became like a famous thing in the town, and then all the kids just wanted
yeah.
to say,
Well,
"I didn't
do you
it."
feel like you have a catchphrase now?
Yes. Send him to ROH.
There you go. Thank you, producer Roman. Thank you, everyone, for joining
The
us. We will see you
graveyard
next
of
week.
The graveyard
Yeah.
of wrestlers.
We
Just
don't
look
know
at
where,
Athena.
but we will be somewhere with another episode of Grappling with
See
the
you.
Gilmans. That's a wrap.
Listen,